Today I'm going to show you how to stuff Deco mesh into a pine wreath base to make a gorgeous fall wreath. Hi guys, it's Nikki here at Stillwater's Wreath Designs. If you're new to the channel, welcome, welcome. We are all about step-by-step DIY wreath endorsed by tutorials. And today we're going to make a fall Halloween wreath on a 24-inch pine base. You guys can grab these from nearly anywhere. I prefer to get them from Hobby Lobby. They're easiest to find around the Christmas season, of course, and they come in a boatload of different sizes. This has got two different rings, an inner and an outer, and it's stuffed full with pine ties. So let me show you how to turn this into a stunning mesh wreath base. What is up, everybody? Where are you watching from today? I'm not going to fluff it up too much. I'm just taking my hands and separating out those pine ties on this base. That's how we're going to secure our Deco mesh. So just spreading them out from side to side. We'll set this off to the side and we're going to cut our Deco mesh. This is just a 10-inch roll of fall Deco mesh from Hobby Lobby. And we're going to use the entire roll for this 24-inch base. And we're going to stuff our base with cruffles. And you guys, I don't measure my mesh. I would say that the pieces are between 22 and 26 inches in length. All I do is lay my mesh in front of me, hold my arm at approximately the same angle for every single cut, and I just cut the entire roll. So this mesh, guys, is the fall mesh from Hobby Lobby of this year. It's a metallic-y roll with orange burlap and like a chocolatey brown. So really perfect for really any fall theme. What is up, you guys? Where's everybody watching from? Have you started your fall decorating and designing? Let's just see what this last bit looks like here. All right. Once you've got your Deco mesh roll totally cut, it's time to add our cruffles into our base. So you're just going to grab a piece of your mesh. For these bases, I just kind of hold them to my chest. You're going to let both of those ends roll in and then scrunch and gather in the center to create a cruffle. If you're new to working with Deco mesh, guys, Deco mesh loves to fray. So anything that we can do as designers to reduce that fray is always ideal. So rolling in those ends is perfect. So what I'm doing here is making my cruffles, rolling in those ends, gathering in the center, making that cruffle, and then I'm just adding it to the outer ring of my pine base, just finding two neighboring pine ties on the outer edge, stuffing that cruffle down between those two ties, and then giving those ties a couple of tight twists to secure our cruffles in. And I'm going to follow this pattern all the way around our wreath. We may need some more mesh, we'll see. The Hobby Lobby Deco mesh rolls are a little bit shorter than what you would find at Craft Outlet and some of those other wreath supply folks online. Let's just see how far we get. So I'm just going to keep making these cruffles, putting them side by side one another on the outer ring of our pine base, which by the way also came from Hobby Lobby. These guys were 50% off this past week for the Christmas sale at Hobby Lobby, so definitely keep an eye out for that. This is what it's looking like so far, guys. We've got 4 cruffles added in. We're just going to keep on stuffing. I'm going to speed ahead while I get these cruffles loaded into our wreath base. Then we'll take a pause once we're finished here, and I'll show you what it's looking like. All right, guys, I've used that entire roll, and it allowed me to do one ring on the outer layer of my pine base, but I'd like to put some mesh on the inner portion of the base as well. So I grabbed a burlap and then this super cute chocolate brown with a gold, orange, and green metallic striping. And I'm going to cut 3 pieces of each. We may need a couple more, we'll see. And we'll alternate back and forth between this metallic chocolatey brown and the burlap on that inner ring of our pine base. You guys, pine bases are super sturdy, weather resistant. They hold a boatload of embellishments. They're just a really great base. And not just for Christmas, for year round. Because you see very little of the pine once you've got your wreath completed. Okay, so same thing. We're just going to make some cruffles. Alternate back and forth between those 2 colors and put them on the inside ring of our base. All right, guys, this base is totally stuffed full, and look how full this pine base is. Now, what I like to do at this point, guys, is I actually like to give it a little bit of a squish. It's this round wreath base, and I just stand it on its side, grab that wire frame, and just kind of squish it in. Not too much. Just want to give it a little bit of an oval shape, just like that. So once we give this wreath base a little bit of a squish, this is what our oval base looks like. And now let's start designing. Give me 1 second to change the camera angle so that you can get a better view of our designing. All right, guys, now that we have our base all finished, let's get to the fun part. Let me show you this super cute metal jack-o'-lantern. How stinking cute is this guy? It's actually pretty lightweight. It's got a candle holder, so your customer could put in a battery-operated candle for some extra cuteness. We're actually going to nestle this right in the center of our wreath. Because it's metal, we need to use something a little bit heavier gauged, so we're going to use a couple of floral wire stems. These are just 20 gauge, 18-inch long floral wire stems. Definitely something to keep in your wreath making toolkit. I'll leave a link for my favorite floral wire stems below. I like to fold them in half, just in a loose V, to help me identify that center point. And we're going to anchor this down at the top, near the stem, and at the bottom. I'm just grabbing my floral wire stem, wrapping it around the back bracket of my jack-o'-lantern, giving it a couple of twists so that the stem doesn't slide, and I'm poking it directly through that pine base. Now remember earlier I told you there are 2 metal rings on this base. That is perfect for anchoring. So I've given it a couple of twists. I flipped it over to make sure my jack-o'-lantern is still where I'd like to see it, and now I'm going to do the same thing at the top. Now that I'm happy with the placement of my jack-o'-lantern, I've grabbed my small snips and my needle nose pliers. I'm giving those wire stems a few tight twists, trimming off those excess ends and curling them under with my needle nose pliers. Then I'm just going to add a little dollop of glue right on top of the wires so they're not sharp. Okay, let's go ahead and make our bow. We're going to put that in the bottom right quadrant underneath our jack-o'-lantern. I've grabbed 4 different types of wired ribbon. You're going to need a good pair of scissors and a pipe cleaner. Go ahead and fold your pipe cleaner into a V and set that off to the side so it's ready to secure the bow once you're done building that. Here I'm just determining how long I'd like my tails. They end up being about 16 inches. I'm going to make 3 6-inch loops with this houndstooth ribbon. You guys, if you are new to bow making, I will leave a step-by-step slow motion bow making tutorial for you in the description of this video. After you've got the 3 loops of the houndstooth ribbon, go ahead and cut off that tail. Set that ribbon off to the side, and then we'll grab our burlap and white striped 2.5-inch ribbon and do the same thing. We'll be making 3 loops and 2 tails. This time, make sure you flip that ribbon around so that the 2 loops of this type of ribbon are on the opposite side of the black and white. So you should have 2 black and white and 1 burlap loop on one half of your bow, and 2 burlap and white and 1 black and white on the other side. Next up is the 1.5-inch wired orange ribbon. I'm just going to make 2 5-inch loops and 2 tails with this ribbon. You guys, you can find a full materials and tool list for you below in the description of this video. All right, now we're going to use our solid 7/8-inch black glittery ribbon, and here I'm just cutting 1 long strand, no loops, and then a second long strand with a single center 1-inch loop in the middle. Now I've grabbed my pipe cleaner, I've wrapped that around the center of my bow stack, and I'm giving it several tight twists. Then you'll just cut away the remaining bits of your pipe cleaner, curl those bits under, and here I'm not fluffing out my bow, I'm just making sure that all of my tails are coming down in the same direction. To anchor our bow in, I've just grabbed another 20 gauge floral wire stem. I'm wrapping that around the center of my bow stack, giving it a couple of tight twists to make sure that it's nice and secure, and I'm going to then run those floral wire stems through the back of the wreath base and tighten them up. Once I'm satisfied with the placement, I'll grab my snips, trim off the excess bit of floral wire stem, curl those ends under with my needle nose pliers, and add a dollop of glue to cover the sharp ends. You guys, how stinking cute is that bow? All right, I'm just going to take a couple of minutes and fluff up those loops, opening them up, spreading them out, and putting them into place. And then I'm going to grab my scissors and angle trim all of my ends. I'm not taking off any of the length, I'm just angle trimming. You could also dovetail if you wish. Now it's time to curl our tails. You guys, here's my secret weapon. I just use a 1-inch leftover cardboard tube from the center of a used up roll of Deco mesh. I'll take my wired ribbon, wrap that around that tube, and it's going to give an amazing curl. You can curl your ribbon tails as many times as you need. If it's a little too tight, just give it a tug. If it's too loose, recurl it. I've decided to make those 7/8-inch black glittery tails super tight. They almost look like a spring. How cute. Okay, let's make some ribbon tails for the upper left quadrant of our wreath. I'm just grabbing those same ribbons that we used before, and I'm going to cut 1 single strand of all of the ribbons except for the black 7/8. I'll be cutting 2 strands of those. Those tails are about 12 inches in length. Don't forget to angle trim your ends. Okay, let's layer all of our ribbons on top of each other, starting with the 2.5-inch, then the 1.5-inch, and last, our black. I'm just going to fold that ribbon stack in half to identify the center, give it a good pinch in the middle, fold it into a loose V over my thumb, and then I'm going to find 2 pine ties above our jack-o'-lantern head off to the left, and I'm going to twist those in. Here, I'm just straightening out my ribbon tails, kind of running my fingers over each ribbon to give it a little bit of a curvature and some height. Then I'm going to grab a Sharpie marker to curl those black ribbons. You guys, how stinking cute is this wreath coming together? Okay, next up, we're going to add some greenery. This is just a weatherproof plastic greenery bush. We're going to use the entire bush. So I'm just going to trim each stem off of the bush, and then I'm going to split those stems in half somewhere in the center where there's a good splitting point to double up our greenery bits for our wreath. Once I get all of my greenery trimmed, I'm going to start hot gluing them all throughout the wreath. Basically, I'm just going to add them all about a hand's width apart, making sure I sprinkle that greenery towards the back and towards the front so it really is giving some great green coverage. Just a little pro tip here, guys. I always use Gorilla hot glue sticks. I haven't ever had any issues with it in terms of melting in the heat or getting brittle in the cold. So just a quick little FYI for you if you struggle with what glue sticks to use. Let me just take a quick moment while we're getting our greenery glued in and say thank you for hopping on over to the Still Waters channel. I'm so glad you decided to design with me today. If you're enjoying this tutorial, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps my little channel to grow. And don't forget you'll find the full materials list for you below in the description of this video in case you'd like to recreate this beauty. As I glue my greenery bits in, I'm just running about an inch worth of glue along the stem on each greenery piece and tucking it down into the wreath securely. The great thing about a pine base is that there's lots of things for our attachments to grab a hold of. Next, I'm going to grab a fall foliage bush from Hobby Lobby and trim that down into individual pieces. It's got some super cute acorns and variegated leaves. We'll get that trimmed down, and then we'll sprinkle those pieces throughout our wreath. Anytime I'm working with florals, I like to give each piece a little bitty tug just to make sure that it's nice and secure on the stem. I don't want those to fall apart for my customers. If they happen to be loose, you can just add a dollop of hot glue. Okay, let's finish adding our fall foliage into the wreath. And this beauty is finished. Thank you for spending time with me today. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Happy crafting.